There's one reliable response from the Kremlin every time something happens which takes them by surprise or upsets them, and that is to attempt to increase the amount of death and destruction that's delivered against Ukraine's most vulnerable citizens, stepping up the missile and drone strikes against hospitals, against shopping centers, against the people who cannot defend themselves. That is almost a given whenever anything happens that the Kremlin doesn't like. But in terms of the more serious escalation, the kind of repercussions that the United States is most concerned about, again and again we've seen that that does not actually come to pass. There's no suggestion at the moment that the relaxation of these restrictions would be the final straw that leads the Kremlin to do something suicidal after so many different supposed red lines have already been crossed. The threats of nuclear escalation are the ones which figure most prominently in these concerns about escalation. And yes, there's no reason to think that Russia would trade a problem which is unpleasant but survivable for something which could actually be existential and lead to the suicide of the state, like launching a nuclear weapon. It's very unlikely that Russia is going to be at all surprised if there is a relaxation on the restrictions of use of long-range missiles. After all, this move has been telegraphed for so very long, and we've today had the Kremlin spokesman saying that the decision has already been taken. So it would be astonishing if Russia were not preparing for this to be the case. Ukraine depends not just on one-off deliveries of US aid, but on the enormous quantity that is an ongoing flow from the United States to keep Ukraine afloat.